Hey, what's up guys? It's Corey here with Dapper Dollars, and today we're going to talk about why Vuzix is showing that they have the bulletproof business model. You ready? Let's get started. So, this channel is all about using the online income opportunities we have with Merch by Amazon and Etsy to build our income online and then invest this income in things like the stock market and real estate. If that sounds like something you're interested in, like and subscribe, and let's get started. So, what Vuzix is showing that they're doing really well is basically using the Amazon FBA model. And for those of you that don't know what Amazon FBA is, it's basically where they take an item that is being mass produced by someone else, put their label on that product, put it on Amazon, and then people buy it from Amazon thinking that it is either from Amazon or a different business. And this is essentially what Vuzix is doing really well with the products that they're making right now with their M400 series glasses that are being used in the medical space, the business space, enterprise, warehouses, and everything like that. They have basically made a universal product that is able to be used in many situations. All a business has to do is slap their label on it and then sell it like it's their own. And then Vuzix makes the initial profit, and they are the ones who ultimately win from this situation because, like we're going to talk about, there are many situations that are going to lead to very productive relationships for Vuzix in the future, especially as augmented reality continues to grow and virtual reality becomes, an integration with our, daily lives. So anyway, let's talk about a few of these things that Vuzix is doing really well and what this private label business is going to actually mean if Vuzix continues to pursue doing business in the private label way. First of all, is that they have a not PR proof, but PR insulated business. So what this is that whenever a company like the cones and rods business that recently bought from Vuzix $1.2 million worth of product, whenever they have Vuzix's glasses now, they put the cones and rods sticker on these glasses and then they sell them to their customers. So now what the final customer sees is that the cones and rods business is on these glasses. So if anything goes wrong with the glasses themselves, they will contact cones and rods. They are really customers of cones and rods are not really going to know that it is Vuzix's glasses specifically. And it wouldn't make sense for them to contact Vuzix because they aren't buying these glasses from Vuzix directly. They're buying them through cones and rods, or rods and cones. I can't remember the exact order of what their name is. But anyway, you understand that this is a great way for Vuzix to insulate themselves from what could potentially be, a few wrong things here and there that happen. But obviously they are still accountable to rods and cones, or cones and rods, whichever one it is. And Vuzix is ultimately accountable to the business they're selling to. However, they do not have to worry with the PR that could come from customer use of these products. Now, this is where Vuzix is really great at insulating themselves because, like we said, they don't have to deal with the customers because if you know anything about Amazon, again, people who get these products are generally not kind online. So if this is a situation where some glasses don't work out or there's a specific problem with like one situation, rods and cones is ultimately going to be the one to deal with that backlash. And like we said, obviously Vuzix would be accountable at some level. However, it would be a almost behind the scenes backdoor communication between rods and cones and Vuzix. So that is one way that they're also going to do really well. The second is that they are not having to do any sort of customer acquisition at all. Because with rods and cones or any of these other partners that they partnered with, like Pixie or Blue Jeans, they are not having to go out and acquire all of these customers that came with this one customer like Pixie or rods and cones. They are instead just going after one big business. And through getting one big business, they now have access to all of that business's contacts and the customers. That's exactly how it paid off for rods and cones, because what happened there was that Vuzix was going after rods and cones, and then if they were just selling to individuals, it would be really hard to get $1.2 million worth of glasses sold. However, whenever they contacted the business rods and cones, then they got access to all of their customers, which meant they got that $1.2 million order. So this is amazing for Vuzix because it does not put any burden on them to, number one, have to do much advertising because that takes a ton of money. You can't imagine how much money it would cost for Vuzix to actually publicize all of the products that they have take out the video ads, the video spots on YouTube, the publications, and everything like that that they would have to do to advertise their product to get individuals to buy. Instead, they are now just going after businesses that are going to use their products en masse and buy hundreds of thousands of orders at one time, just like Rods and Cones did. So this is another way that Vuzix is winning, because they aren't having to hire a sales force that is reaching product or individuals. Instead, they're going after a business that is going to do these batch orders. So this is an amazing thing for Vuzix. And they are also not limited by a vertical, because it would be hard if Vuzix were selling to people individually to communicate everything that Vuzix could do. Instead, whenever they go after these individual businesses, whether it's enterprise or medical or warehouse situations like that, they are able to have different sales strategies for each one, but it's the same product that works for each one of these verticals. So this is where Vuzix has a golden opportunity to show the versatility of their product, but also to refine their sales process to go into multiple areas and show that it is able to basically be used in so many different ways that it opens up the door for Vuzix and massive market potential. So again, I do think this is a $5 billion company with all of the verticals that they could go into. Right now, they're really heavy into the medical industry. They're working on the military industry and the enterprise as well. However, I feel like once all of this is said and done, it is going to be a massive blowout in almost every sector that Vuzix goes into. I think the medical is definitely going to hold the majority of Vuzix's business, but the enterprise and the mechanical industry is definitely going to be heavily using Vuzix as well. So this is a great thing for Vuzix as well. And it is really the production is the only limiting factor for Vuzix in this situation. They have a golden business model as far as shielding themselves from PR battles. They have a built-in sales force whenever they acquire these larger businesses, and they have the multiple verticals that they can go into, and they're able to refine their sales process for each of these people. However, it is the production that is going to be the Achilles heel for Vuzix if anything goes wrong, because what Vuzix is doing is producing their products overseas, like China, and having all of the chips sourced from China as well. They might be made in America or assembled in America. However, all of the products that are being sourced from China and overseas. And so the production availability is really what's going to be holding Vuzix back in the biggest way. So if Vuzix can find a way to maintain the production that they have and scale with the customers that they're getting, because I'm not sure if they're actually growing and storing the volumes that they're going to need as they acquire customers, because like we've seen with a lot of stuff in America, when the chain supply was broken and the semiconductor chain size specifically was broken, there were a ton of industries that were affected. The automobile industry, the tech industry especially, and that is where Vuzix is playing at. So if they don't have these supply chains built up in the United States, then the supply chain is going to be their biggest issue. And if they get multiple clients back to back and then they're not able to fulfill those orders, that will be their Achilles heel, and that will be where Vuzix is really going to suffer if they're not able to get a supply chain that is based in the US, or at least have a backup in the US for whenever things like this happen. Because guaranteed there will be another situation where supply chains are interrupted, maybe not on the level of what we experienced in 2020. However, it would make sense for Vuzix to have a production partner in the US that is able to at least be a backup to get them through potential hurdles in the future. So anyway, this is my opinion on why Vuzix is really in an amazing spot as far as being a bulletproof business model. I think what they're doing is incredibly valuable as far as what they produce in the M400 glasses to bring augmented reality to many spaces. The medical, most of all, because the business that they've been doing, especially with their newest business partner, Rods and Cones, is going to do so much to benefit people who are not able to access, first world medical care. This is going to open the door for many lower income countries, even third world countries, to have access to quality medical advice and medical technicians without having to fly doctors out there and pay those millions of expenses to have them there. They will be able to instead pay thousands to have a pair of Vuzix glasses, the software through Rods and Cones, and then they will be able to communicate with a doctor that is highly qualified for anything that they could want. So anyway, this is an amazing thing for Vuzix. like we said, a seemingly bulletproof business model, but the only real issue is going to be their supply chain. And again, I think this is a $5 billion company. I'm definitely in this company for the long haul. I think we're definitely going to see $50 to $75 a share in the next 2 years. And this is a solid investment for most people who are looking for a long-term growth company. Right now, most of the tech stocks are kind of in the hole, but as we come out of all this and we come out on the other side and life gets back to normal, and once the circulation from the value stocks in the Dow Jones and the S&P come back to the NASDAQ and the innovation stocks, I think we're going to see a massive amount of growth at some point within late 2021 or early 2022. But anyway, that's my opinion on Vuzix as far as what this technology is, what the benefits are of this company, and now where I see this company going in the future. If you have any questions, I would love to know. Just drop them down in the comment section below. And remember, guys, someone is going to do something amazing every day. Why not you? See ya.